Happy Mask Monday. This one's a little big. It goes like way up here. But sometimes they're too small. So guess it works out. I have a roller. Why aren't I using that? I forget I have it. At least I didn't make you struggle with watching me open it like I usually do. Well, today we're going to do some never have I ever questions. I got them off Grandma Bev's video, who got them from Kimmy, who got them from Sherry, and I don't know how far back they go, but anyway. So it's Kimmy's boxes, Grandma Bev, and Sherry's Beauty Inside Out. So you can watch the trail of these questions if you want to. All right, it's not really never have I ever, it's have you ever, I guess. Because never have I ever is a game that you play that if you haven't done it, you have to drink or something. I don't know. I never played drinking games because I never really drank. Never liked the taste of it. But anyway, so these are have I ever. Dined and dashed. No, but my ex-husband a couple times. I don't know if he really was literally complaining or trying to get out of paying, but he would pitch such a bitch about something that they'd give it to us for free, and it always embarrassed me. I mean, yeah, if something's not right, you can send it back, you know. I'm gonna give you the right thing if it's burnt or whatever, but you don't have to make a big scene. Had a paranormal experience. Well, I don't believe in a lot of paranormal. I believe in the Holy Spirit prompting you and things like that. I guess the closest I had to that, and it was probably a Holy Spirit kind of thing, is I had a friend who I hadn't talked to in a while, and she called me up and she said, "You'll never guess what happened to me." And I don't know where it came from, but I blurted out, "You had an affair and had an abortion." And she dropped the phone, and I was right. So that was really weird. I don't know how I knew that, but I did. I guess that was the Lord telling me so that I could help her, you know, get through it. Alrighty. Have I ever stolen something? Oh, you know, I took pens home from work, stuff like that, but never like actively went in a store and pocketed something, you know, that kind of thing. No, I was always a good girl. Falling in love at first sight. Nope. Run to save your life. Well, it wouldn't have saved my life, but I remember running from the police once when I was a kid, and we were at they had these outdoor racquetball courts that were like cement walls on three sides. There wasn't a roof or anything, so it wasn't a true racquetball court, but, you know, there were three cement walls. And we were taking and putting firecrackers in there, and they made these echoing, boomy, loud noises. And we hear a siren driving up onto the school grounds. So we all like ran. We were in our swimsuits, must have been summer. Ran, and we were climbing over a fence, and my swimsuit got stuck on the fence, and one of my friends had to come and unhook me, and we got out of there. That's the closest I came to running for my life. Oh, as a kid, I did have this reoccurring dream that somebody is chasing me, and there's this long, skinny street, and I'm going, and I knock on the door of this house, and they come out and start chasing me. Then I zigzag over here and knock on the door of this house for help, and they start chasing me, and I'm going back and forth up this street trying to get help, and they all are coming out and chasing me, and then I wake up. I have no idea what that meant. Let's see. Accidentally said I love you. Only on the phone, where you're thinking about your spouse or your mom or friend or sister or something, and you just used to saying, "Bye, I love you," or you kid or whatever. And I've done that before to like somebody I didn't mean to do it to. but not the true, oh, I'm in love with you, love you, that kind of thing. No. Press send and then regretted it. Oh, yeah, I think we've all done that. Sent some kind of either tirade email or text that we shouldn't have. We should have thought it over first, or at work. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to this other girl, and my boss was such a jerk, but there's this other girl that she had just come out. We had two divisions, and she'd come out from the other division, and she was sending a email to somebody griping about how terrible I was, when she didn't know the whole situation at all, about how I was lazy and I hadn't done what she told me to do and I hadn't done my job, and just totally griping about me to like several other people. It was like a group text in her old division, and she didn't know what she was talking about, because what she was trying to get me to do, the boss had already told me that that project had been canceled and I was to work on something else. And so I printed it out and took it to my boss, and he didn't do anything about it. He didn't care. She was his darling and I was the goat or whatever. And yeah, so be careful who you're sending to, because they might be you might accidentally send it to the person you're complaining about. Yeah, that was the worst job I ever had. That boss was terrible. He would do things like my first 3 months there, somebody else kind of taught me the ropes of what I was supposed to be doing, and I did everything I was supposed to be doing. And then at 3 months it's like a 3-month probation kind of thing. So at 3 months, he's like, well, I didn't spend any time with you, so I don't know how good you are, so I'm not going to stop your probation right now. And then I never heard it. And he said, we're going to meet weekly and blah, blah, blah. And that never happened. And he never officially ended my probation that I know of. And I was there 2 years. But one time he had me do this presentation, and it was supposed to go in front of the big boss. And so I did what he told me to do. And he said, well, present it to me first. So I did, and he didn't say anything. So then when I presented it from the big boss, then he's like, well, you really embarrassed me. That was terrible. It's not what we needed at all. And I'm just thinking, are you setting me up to fail? I mean, why didn't you tell me that wasn't what you wanted? So the next time I had to do something like that for him, this other girl who was his darling, not the mean one that sent the email, but a different one, I asked her, it's like, I never seem to know what direction he wants me to go, and we just bat heads. Could you tell me what direction to go with this project? So she told me a couple sentences of which way she thought he wanted. And so I did it and gave it to him. He's like, well, this is good, but I know so-and-so did the whole thing for you. No, that wasn't the case. So it was like that the whole time I was there. Then I went on disability because I had a knee replacement. And this guy and I had been working on this big project. And so while I was gone, he continued working on it. And evidently he messed it all up, and then he quit. So then I come back, and the boss is like, well, you really messed up that project. And I'm like, what? I wasn't even here. So he always had an excuse like that to not give me a raise. And I had, all my years, 20, 30 years of working, I'd always had excellent reviews, no problems, been an excellent worker. If anything, if I left for some reason, they would replace me with 2 or 3 people because I did so much work. And this guy was just, I don't know, he had it out for me from the beginning. It's like, if he hated me that much, why'd he hire me? I don't know. It was just the weirdest thing. But it was so stressful that I have several permanent, not illnesses, but chronic conditions. That's the word I'm looking for. And all that stress from working for him exacerbated it so much I ended up going out on permanent disability. Well, that was a long story to get from, sending the wrong thing to the wrong person. Yeah. Went down a long, dark road there. Okay, have you ever been slapped across the face? I mean, my sister and I messing around as kids, maybe, but I've never been slapped across the face, and I don't remember ever slapping anybody across the face either. I mean, there's people I wanted to give them a good sock, but I didn't. Flirted and got out of a ticket. No, I mean, I've gotten warnings a couple times, but last ticket I got was more than 20 years ago, and I had just moved here, and I was on the freeway, and I get off and go like to this mall thing, and then I get back on, and they're, in a different place, the other end of the mall. I get off at this end and got on at that end, and in that in-between spot, the speed limit changed, went down like 10 or 15 miles an hour. So I get on, and I'm getting up with the flow of the traffic. I mean, you had to do that to get on the freeway. You had to get up with the flow of the traffic. And this female cop pulls me over, which, you can't flirt with the female cops. And by then I was in my 50s anyway, or 50-ish, beginnings of late 40s, early 50s. And she pulls me over, and I'm like, what? And she's like, well, you were speeding. And I'm like, well, how was I supposed to get on? I had to get on with the flow of the traffic. Everybody was speeding. And I said, besides, I didn't, know the speed limit had changed. And she's like, well, ignorance of the law is no excuse. And she gave me a ticket anyway. And I was just like, really? That was just petty. Oh, I went to one of those, to get your ticket written off or whatever, those classes you can take about safe driving and all that. This one was you couldn't do it online back in those days. We're talking, 20 some odd years ago. So you had to actually physically go and sit waste your whole Saturday taking this class so your insurance didn't go up. This one was supposed to be a comedy one, but the guy wasn't funny. But, I got the ticket written off, so my insurance didn't go up. Thrown up on a roller coaster. Well, no, but I almost did on like a tilt-a-whirl, the ones that go round and round. I get dizzy and I don't go on those anymore. Well, I don't go on pretty much any of them anymore, but I much prefer the shows and stuff at an amusement park. Some of the rides I like at Disneyland, I like a lot of their rides, but those ones that go round and round and round, ugh, no, make me really sick. Ever been arrested? No, never even did anything remotely that would cause me to be arrested. Shot a gun? I haven't, but it's funny how when I was in California, all the liberal California stuff, I pretty much grew up mostly in California. I was totally anti-gun, and then I came out here to Texas, and slowly over the years, now I'm to the point where I'd kind of like to learn how to shoot. Hitchhiked. The one time I hitchhiked, my girlfriend and I were 15-ish, maybe. I don't think we were driving yet, so we were probably 15-ish. So we're hitchhiking, and this guy pulls over, like an older guy. He pulls over, picks us up, and then he forces us to tell him where we live, and goes and tells our parents on us that we were hitchhiking. So we got in big trouble. I never hitchhiked again. Yeah, that did not go over well. Okay, 2 more. Oh man, how long's it been? Oh, it's been 14 minutes. So we're close to being done. Let's go say, have I talked? Have I dithered enough to have the mask do its thing? Ever lied about your age to get a date? No. When I was young, I looked old for my age, which annoyed my sister no end because she's 3 years older than me, but she's this little tiny thing, just not even 5 feet tall. And so she always looked really young for her age, and I looked old for my age. So, if we needed somebody to look older for something, it was me instead of her, even though she was 3 years older than me. So that always annoyed her. So I looked when you're young, you want to look older. And then when you're old, you want to look younger. And most people say I look young for my age. Hard to tell, huh? But most people don't think I'm 71. They think I'm more like late 50s, early 60s, somewhere in there. So I'll take it. Have you ever peed in a car? I don't even understand that. I mean, like if you're a guy, I could see it where you had like a bottle or something. But as a woman, that's kind of hard to do unless maybe you had a car accident and it scared you so bad you peed. I don't know. I mean, I pulled off the side of the road and peed before, you know, where you're out in the middle of nowhere and there's nowhere to go and you go behind a tree. But I've never actually peed in a car. I do have a funny story about a first date and peeing in cars. It was, I can't remember the whole story, but there was it was a first date in the winter time, and the trunk was iced over and they had a flat tire and they had to get into the trunk. So the guy tried peeing on it and he got his private stuck to the to the back of the car, you know, because, you know, if you've got something wet and you stick it to ice, it sticks to the ice. And then he's got this girl trying to help him, so she's trying to pee on him to get him loose, and they never saw each other ever again after that. It was just like the worst first date ever. I can just envision the whole thing. It's just terrible. Alrighty. Well, I need about 3 more minutes. So what can I talk about for 3 minutes? Well, we just started our, we're starting to say we have a Shop Miss A collab we're doing. And I just sent mine off to share from Single Mom Reviews. And I'm getting mine from Andrea Megan, I think, sending me mine. And what we're doing is we're just having Shop Miss A send it directly to our person we were matched up with. And then we're also going to collect money from all of us and have a grand prize for our viewers. We're hoping to get it to at least $100. So watch for those videos to come out. And some of us will have like little secret giveaways hidden in our videos. Not everybody. It's just up to this person to what they want to do. So there might be some little secret giveaways mixed up in there too. So watch out for all of that. And also we're waiting for one more person to get their box for the other collab I'm in, which is a gag gift collab. I've already taped mine, but we're waiting for the last person to get her gift so she can tape her video. Speaking of, I sent, I don't know, like 2 months ago at least, I had this, what did I get them? Luxury Diva, I think. I got a shawl and some really super high-waisted leggings, and I did a little drawing for them because I didn't want them, and so I sent them to Alex in Canada, and I just got them back because they said the address was undeliverable. So now I have to send them again, and I'm hoping I don't have to pay a second time, because what I did was I left one of the numbers out on her address by accident, so I couldn't deliver it. So it took like 2 or 3 months to go there and not be able to be delivered and come back here. So I'm going to try and send it again, but if it doesn't make it this time, I'm not sending it a third time because it's not cheap shipping to Canada. So don't know what else is going on. If you all do collabs, I would love to be in one. Right now I'm the instigator of these collabs. I would love to just join somebody and not be the one in charge, because it's a lot of work being in charge. So I'd love to just piggyback on one of yours. So if you're all doing some kind of collab and you want to invite me, I'll probably join, because I love collabs and I think they help us grow. After the last collab, I went from somewhere in the 340s to now I'm in the 390s. So I grew quite a bit from the last collab we did, so that's partly why I like doing them, make new friends. I got this close to 400 because I have this big box we're going to do when I get to 400. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because there's a big giveaway coming up. I was up to 396, so I was only 4 away from 400, and now I'm at 392. So I went backwards. It happens. It's just the way. I was surprised I didn't go backwards more with that. All those ones I gained from that collab, because a lot of times, you know, you gain a bunch from a collab, and then they just are like, okay, I didn't win, I'm out. But they all stayed, which, yay, new friends. All right, it's been 20 minutes. I'm sure you're sick of talking to me. Let's see what we look like here. Oh, look like our usual old self without makeup. There's always so much extra on here. You rub it in and you rub it all over the rest of your body. All right. Well, happy Mask Monday, and y'all have a good week. And I have no idea what to expect this week. I did a BoxyCharm video, but I haven't put it up yet because I'm going to tie it on to an ice cream video and have you tell me which one I should keep, because I don't really need both of them. Oops, I'm sticky. My hands are stuck together. Other than that, I don't really know that anything's coming up. We'll see. It's always a surprise. But we have Wacky Wednesday coming up, and not Fun Facts Friday. It's going to be Fabulous Friends Friday. So I'm going to shout out to some of y'all. Hopefully there'll be some new friends for you to meet. I will talk to y'all again soon.